Hi guys, this is Jonathan Lambert with the Mathematics Development and Support Service at National College of Ireland, and in this short video, another video in our series of videos dealing with linear programming problems. Well, what we're going to actually do is we're just going to concentrate on lines and inequalities. Yeah, okay. So let's say we're going to concentrate on equations of lines, okay, and in particular inequalities and what they represent. These are probably the most important things when it comes to dealing with linear programming problems. Okay, and maybe just to motivate this particular example, what I want to actually do is I want to consider let's say two equations. Let's say the first one is 2x plus 3y is less than or equal to 5. Okay, so I'd like to consider this particular inequality. Okay, it's not an equal sign here, it's actually an inequality. And I'd also like to consider, let's say, this inequality over here, which is 5x minus 2y is less than or equal to 2. Okay, and also we'll throw in another few inequalities now in a moment, but let me maybe just set the scene. Let's just maybe just create an x and a y axis here on this particular piece of this bit of graph paper. So let's say this is our x-axis, and let's say for argument's sake that this is our y-axis up here. Okay, so our y-axis is going up there, and this is our y-axis. And what we want to effectively do is we want to plot the region with respect to this particular inequality. What I like to do first of all is just to look at the equality piece. So let's say 2x plus 3y equals 5 first of all, and what we have here is an equation of a line. Okay, it's in a particular format, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this so that the equation of the line is in the y-intercept form. So I'm going to solve this for y. Okay, so what I have is I end up with 3y is equal to 5 minus 2x, and I'm going to divide across by 3. I end up with y is equal to 5 thirds minus 2 thirds x. Okay, and what this is it's the same line that I had a moment ago. We've just transposed it into a different form, and this form is in a particular form. It's known as the y-intercept form, and it looks like this. It's y is equal to a plus b times x. Okay, so this is known as the y-intercept form of an equation of a line, and it helps us in relation to visualizing the line and where it is. In this case, the a is 5 thirds and the b is minus 2 thirds. 5 thirds represents where the line intersects the y-axis. So in this case here, this line is going to intersect at 5 thirds, which is the same as 1 and 2 thirds. So it's going to go up. Let's say this is 1, 2, 3. Let's say this is 1, 2, 3, and let's say this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. And we have negative numbers out here. So this line now intersects at 5 thirds. So that's 1 and 2 thirds. So it intersects approximately here. Okay, let's say for argument's sake, it intersects the y-axis, and the slope is minus 2 thirds, which means that if I step out 1 unit, in the positive x direction, I'm going to fall down 2 thirds, which is going to bring me down to this particular point here. So there's 2 points on the line. So this line that we just had a moment ago looks something like this. It goes through those 2 points like this. Okay. Now, what we're interested in is, we're not actually interested, although we are interested in the equality piece, but we're also interested in points that are less than or equal to 5 with respect to their x and their y coordinates based off this relationship here. So every line splits the plane up into two portions. We have the portion over this side of the plane, and we have the portion over this side of the plane with respect to this red line, 2x plus 3y. Okay, equals 5. And we're interested in the portion of the plane where 2 times x plus 3y is less than or equal to 5. So what I'd suggest that we do is let's just pick a point that's far enough away from where the line is so that we know it actually is on the left hand side. So let's say for argument's sake that we pick this point here, okay, which is minus 2. So minus 2, and let's see what this says. Okay, so when we substitute in minus 2 here, we end up with minus 2 times minus 2 plus 3 times, it's plus 2 times minus 2 plus 3 times minus 2, and in this case we end up with minus 4 minus 6, which is equal to minus 10, which is less than or equal to 5. That's true. Okay, so we know that this point is on the side of the inequality. So actually, this inequality here represents the half plane, okay, over in this particular direction, if that makes sense. Okay, so it represents this part of the plane. You can see the line splits the xy plane up into two portions. Okay, now with respect to this line here, okay, 5x minus 2y is less than or equal to 2. Let's do the process again. So what we're interested in, let's set it equal. So we have 5x minus 2y equals 2. And let's transform it into the form of y is equal to a plus bx, okay, the y-intercept form. So this becomes minus 2y is equal to 2 minus 5x, and dividing across by minus 2, we end up with y is equal to, well, that gives us minus 1, because minus 2 divided into 2 gives us minus 1, and minus gives us a plus 5 over 2x. So once again, this is in the form y is equal to